What do we do when a major corporation ignores our favorite franchises? We make it ourselves. Bomb Rush Cyberfunk is a spiritual... Okay, let's just be frank here. Bomb Rush Cyberfunk is a sequel to Sega's long-forgotten franchise, Jet Set Radio. Not an official one, of course, but it is a sequel all but in name. Created by Team Reptile, known for Lethal League, Bomb Rush aims to recapture the magic of the Jet Set Radio duology, all the while improving the parts of Jet Set Radio that were lacking before. And yeah, they freaking nailed it.
Watch your back. Yo, you better watch your back. Yo, watch your back. Yo, you better watch your back.
For the possible few uninformed, Jet Set Radio is a franchise of Sega's all about inline skating and graffiti art. The gameplay of the OG game is a little bit jank, and the sequel did improve it for sure, but it lacked depth. It was the aesthetic that kept people coming back. An amazing art style thanks to Ryuta Ueda, and a masterclass soundtrack thanks to a bunch of artists included, but mostly thanks to my funky uncle Hideki Naganuma. It was the pinnacle of an urban-styled gaming franchise. It's the kind of game that changes people, influences their art and what they want to do. But with only 2 games, the first being readily available on PC and the 7th generation of consoles, which does mean it's playable on Xbox One through backwards compatibility, and the sequel still being locked to the OG Xbox and backwards compatible with the 360, other than a few cameos in other Sega games, the franchise has long since been dead. There have been plenty of games that attempted to imitate the style, including Team Reptile's Lethal League taking a huge influence from Jet Set Radio's art style and music. So, Team Reptile just decided they might as well make a whole ass new Jet Set Radio themselves. And so, lo and behold, Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, Jet Set Radio 3. In Bomb Rush Cyberfunk, you play as Fox, or is it Foe? I don't know. Fox is locked in a jail cell when a man named Trice frees him. Fox turns out to have quite a reputation in the underground graffiti art community, and agrees to join Trice's group, the Bomb Rush crew, if Trice can get him out of there alive. Sure hope nothing bad happens. Because having 85% of a legendary writer is more than they had before, Trice took Fox's body with him and gives the body a temporary robot head. They now refer to him as Red, who wants to get Fox's head back to its rightful body, and along with the only other Bomb Rush crew member, Belle, they aim to go all city, which basically means tagging any spot we see, earning respect from doing that, and beating all the rest of the gangs in trick-based battles, which results in us taking their territories. Only then will the man who decapitated Fox, DJ Cyber, leader of the Futurism crew, return Fox's head to him. Definitely more plot than Jet Set Radio usually has, and without spoiling anything, they do get a pretty good mystery going on throughout the plot. The police have a sinister plan behind the scenes, there's more to DJ Cyber and Fox's history than you'd think, and altogether, I think the plot's pretty fun. The characterization of everyone is actually more in depth than you'd expect for characters who never actually speak. At surface level, they all seem like designs first, characters second, but they do have fun personalities that come out via dialogue and in-game yelps and whatnot when they're bouncing around the world. Like take Red here. I love his voice clips. All the characters are really fun and their designs are so freaking good. I always said I preferred the original Jet Set Radio's look compared to Future's, and I think Team Reptile did a perfect job keeping a balance between the two games' aesthetics with these character designs. Like, look at these guys. I will never be this cool. The other gangs are rad too. You got a gang of Frankenstein basketball players called the Franks, astrology-obsessed girls called Eclipse, cyberhead b-boys called .exe. Like, these are arguably more creative than even Jet Set Radio's rival gangs. Once again, having a good balance of what made both Jet Set Radio stand out to everyone. Hell, we even got a group of old heads that act as sort of a street council. Imagine if you and your friends were having beef with some other dudes and the Hood Elders came out to settle the issue. This world is amazing. My sentiment about the balance between the two Jet Set Radio's aesthetics expands to the world designs as well. Very contemporary while still allowing for some fun terrain, and they hit the mark with every single area. You got streets with basketball courts and subway systems, inner city metropolitan areas, a huge ass fashion mall, and my favorite, this oil rig that has rails up the wazoo. Literally the funnest place to move around in the game. Speaking of which, the movement in the game is literally perfect. The jank of the old Jet Set Radio is no more. We actually get to feel as cool as we look in this game. First of all, we're not limited to just inline skates anymore. In addition to inline skates, we have BMX, skateboarding, or you can just run around like a sensible person. You also have a boost pack that you can use for dashing on both the ground and air. It definitely feels good to move around. But what makes the movement really fun is is the combo system. Whereas in Jet Set Radio, tricks and stuff just sorta happen. Bomb Rush gives you 3 trick buttons and a sliding move that allows you to extend your combo. Well, sliding around on foot and inline skates, and on BMX and skateboard it's a manual. So you string moves together no matter where you are, ground, air, or rail. By performing tons of tricks and keeping your combo together with that slide, you can rack up so many points, especially since you can up the multiplier in various ways. This makes the crew battles you'll be doing throughout the game fast-paced and fun as hell, if a little easy. Yeah, it's not until the post-game challenges that ask you to get like 6 million points that I ever have a hard time in the game, but honestly, that never bothered me. And what also doesn't bother me is how they managed to take a not-so-great part from the original Jet Set Radio, the act of actually spraying a graffiti tag, and managed to make it fast-paced and satisfying as hell. You hop over to one of these spots and you flick your stick around a bunch and wazam, you get some amazing art. Every tag in this game is such a banger, not a dull one in the bunch. I'm more partial to the more cartoony pop ones, but you get some freaking outstanding designs here. And since your major goal in any given level is to spray tags everywhere and earn rep points, you'll be seeing a lot of them. You get new tags by finding them throughout the world, where you can also find new character outfits, which are all really cool, characters in general who have their own challenges, and of course more music tracks to play on your phone. Which I love that when you have your phone out, your character holds it in the game as well. It makes it a lot funnier when I fuck up while they're looking at their phone. This new tag system makes it so you don't have to have only a set amount of tags like you did in the Jet Set Radio duology. You have every tag equipped, you just pick a direction. The only tags that change are the small tags, which are all character specific. So simple yet looks so radical. But alright. Gameplay is tight, art is on point, but what about the music? God tier. In addition to getting 3 tracks from Hideki Naganuma, we also got fucking bangers among bangers from a wide variety of artists that I hadn't even heard of until this game. And I can't forget to mention that the game includes my boy 2 Mello with a track I Wanna Know from Sounds of Tokyo To Future. Finally, my mans gets a track in a game. I only wish he could have gotten a few more. If I had to complain about anything about the game's soundtrack, it's that they definitely went really hard into the funky remix electric hip-hop vibe that Jet Set Radio was famous for, but completely dropped the punk and rock angle it had along with it. Like yes, Jet Set Radio is known for Hideki Naganuma's funky beats, but are we gonna pretend that Guitar Vader didn't have 2 tracks in Jet Set Radio? Or that they never got some licensed rock tracks to play? Or even songs like Yellow Bream or Rocket On just not being there? Bomb Rush has a god tier OST, I just wish it could have tapped into that angle as well. But I guess that just wasn't the focus. They really wanted to focus on what made Jet Set Radio stand out and improve it, which they really did. I did initially think upon being the game that Bomb Rush lacks its own identity due to being an unapologetic Jet Set Radio clone, but then I realized that might actually be a good thing, and here's why. This game is going to be the Jet Set Radio of a new generation. Imagine someone, maybe even a young kid, playing this game and not knowing what Jet Set Radio is. Bomb Rush Cyberfunk will be to them what Jet Set Radio is to us. And that just makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside, you know? Like we have a modern day product that's going to inspire a new generation of artists creating what they love, all because this game captured their imagination. Only difference is they got good controls, the bastards. And hey, maybe if the game does really well, SEGA will take note and give us support of Jet Set Radio Future, or maybe even let Team Reptile make a new Jet Set Radio game, even though they already did. Honestly, SEGA just has to acknowledge Bomb Rush Cyberfunk as the new Jet Set Radio, and I'll be fine with that. I implore you all to buy and play Bomb Rush Cyberfunk if you're even slightly interested in it aesthetically. It's available on PC and Switch now, and after September 1st, it'll be available on PlayStation and Xbox consoles as well. It might not have a groundbreaking plot, but everything else about it is. Bomb Rush Cyberfunk definitely captures the magic that Jet Set Radio had, and let me tell you guys, I really just can't get enough of it.